What's going on, DZ? What's going on, EDL?
What's
Back,
up?
back after a bye week. Coming back with a vengeance. You have a good bye week, DZ?
Yes, sir.
So that pretty much means we have a whole bunch of shit to cover. We were already a little bit behind. We were gonna do a Hall of Fame blind, what's the word? Not introduction. Nomination, whatever it is. But anyways, I'm not going to tell you who it is, and you're going to pick. There's going to be quarterbacks. We're going to be picking a couple of them. We're going to have to cover a little bit of Week 8, then Week 9, and then preview. So we got a lot of shit to fly through. So I'm just going to get to boogieing. First off, you and Seward still going at it in the Survivors, right? You guys are still alive, both of you,
Yes, sir.
going into this week. So that's a little Week 8 and Week 9 news. The confidence, Matt looks like he's running away with it a little bit up there at the top. We'll see if Robbie, you, there's a few people still doing it.
I might tap out, bro. I forgot to do yesterday's game. Ah,
Yeah, Matt looks like he might be in territory of running away with it, so that's pretty good. Jump on. Pretty much everything's been good. The only thing that I haven't jotted down on the site was, I believe, a blind bidding adjustment. I don't know. I think it was Mitchell Trubisky or something like that for $4 instead of 10. Anyways, I'll get that on there. And then other than that, everything's pretty much caught up except for your weekly blind bidding. That's a week late. But let's go into let's do the Hall of Fame first, and then we'll recap Week 8, go into Week 9. Let's get some guys into the Hall of Fame. DZ, let me see how we're gonna set this up for the people's viewing pleasure. I made a little spreadsheet here, DZ, to kind of better show these players and what they did. So we got 4 quarterbacks, all of which have been very big part of the fantasy whatever. And I'm going to send you some screen. You got your phone on you? I'm going to send you some screenshots on your phone.
sure do.
Okay, so I just sent you player A. Now let's look at player A.
Oh man.
He had a little short career, but it was good while it lasted. What you're looking at, DZ, is it shows you the finishes. Here, I'm just going to send you all of them. Here's player B. Here's player C. And here's player D. So here, I'm just going to give a little run through. We got player A. If we look at it, while he was only a short time in the EDL, 3 years, but he was pretty much dominant while he was in there. A fourth, a first, and a third, right? So if we have a couple of things here, I have them look by, did they have a top 12 finish, which would mean quarterback 1? Did they have a top 6 finish, which obviously is very good, and then top 3 is best of the best. All 3 years, player A was in the EDL. He was a number 1 quarterback, top 12. He was also top 6, and 2 of the 3, he was the top 2. He does not have a Super Bowl for the EDL, but he does have one 50-point game, and it was the highest all-time for a quarterback, second all-time ever in the EDL. Wouldn't surprise me if you start sniffing some of these out, DZ. But we're going to move on to player B. As you can see, he has a longer career going on here, 9 years compared to 3. But for the first half, he was just killing it. And then towards the back few years, kind of up and down. But as far as top 12 finishes, 7 of the 9 years, he was a top 12 quarterback, number 1. 5 of the 9 years, top 6. And then he did get 3 top 3 seasons, which is obviously very good. He has 2 Super Bowls as a starter. So 2 Super Bowl rings as a starter, and he has one 50-point game. That's player B. We get into player C. We have an 11-year career. As you can see, it's kind of up and down, but the highs are really high. He did put together 2 top 3 seasons in 2016 and 2018. But overall, 11 seasons. He was a number 1 quarterback, 6 of them. A top 6 quarterback, 2 of them. A top 3 quarterback, 2 of them. And also has 2 Super Bowl rings in the EDL as a starter. And then his 150-point game. He also has 150-point game as well. So kind of up and down career, but he does have the high of the high, and then he also has the Super Bowl rings. Then our last player, player D, also an 11-year career. He was a top 12 quarterback 8 times out of 11, top 6, 4, and a top 3, 4. So this quarterback has the most top 3 finishes of any of them. But he does not have a 50-point game, and he does not have a Super Bowl ring, DZ. Hopefully you guys can see this. Maybe zoom in on your phones or on your computer, laptops, whatever.
Send it to the EDL chat.
Well, I have a spreadsheet up above me where like everything I'm looking at, it shows player A, player B. It's not in the same format of yours. I think everyone should be able to look at it pretty good. DZ, can we eliminate one?
Are these all guys that are done, right? Are we still on that? They have to be done, or are there some of these guys still in there?
I feel like you're going to be happy with my selections, but I'm not going to answer the question.
Well, because I mean, like, dude, I think one of them's Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not sure. Like, it's like if he's not in the league no more, I mean, he's still in the league, right? So I'm not. And then I feel like some of these might be Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan. I'm getting Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan vibes. And the first one's really got me intrigued because, you know, initially I thought it was Peyton Manning for sure. But I'm pretty sure he was pretty bad in his last season. So there's no way he would have finished third. Andrew Luck? Is that fucking Andrew Luck right there? Player A? But was that his Andrew Luck? He's out of here. He's out.
So you're eliminating one right now? Or are you eliminating player A?
Dude, I can't. Well, dude, that's nasty right there. That you're talking fourth, first, and third. If that's true, man, how do you not leave Andrew Luck in the like? He's got to be on a. I mean, I don't want to take him off the ballot, Nate. This is tough, bro. Okay, if you put a gun to my head, player C's probably got to go.
So we're gonna eliminate player C.
Hold on. Fuck, dude. This is tough, man. Player C seems way less consistent than all the other ones to me. He does got 2 seconds. That's probably Matt Ryan. I bet you player C's Matt Ryan.
Are we eliminating player C?
I'll take player C out for now.
All right, Matt Ryan
for this year
is off of the voting list. Good sniff out. Matt Ryan with 2 Super Bowl rings. He had them both with Pete and both as a starter, but a big gap in between them. Let me double check my notes.
He's been really good at fantasy, man.
2014 and 2019, both on Pete's team. I'm sure he went several teams in between them, but he was the starter for 2 of Pete's fantasies. Super Bowls. But Matt Ryan, get him off the list. All right, we got to get rid of one more, DZ.
I feel like player B is Aaron Rodgers. So player D, I don't really know player D right at the moment. I'm gonna have to take player A off.
Player A, and you sniffed it out, but I sort of fucked up on it and I didn't realize it. But player A was Peyton Manning. I must have not put him on the last year. When I did like the rankings, I must have done like top 20, 24 finishes, and his last season he must have like really fucking sucked. So Peyton Manning is off the list. I missed. I should have put like 35th right here in the last round, but he did play one extra round.
Hold on.
No, dude, we're in. We're good. We're
Dude,
good.
This is bullshit.
We're good. We're good. Peyton Manning's out. He only had a 3-year career.
He's the first ballot.
No, all right. We got our 2 guys that made it, DZ. That's the beauty of having it blind.
Bro, I'll boycott this episode of the show.
Player B. Player B. And an inductee, we have Mr. Drew Brees himself. With a fantastic career, 2 Super Bowl victories.
Totally forgot about him.
Top 3 finishes, both on Rubb's teams, 50-point game. And player D, and our last and final player, just freshly retired, Tom Brady. Definitely one of the better players in his career. As consistent as it's been, He didn't have the Super Bowl victories for the EDL or the 50-point game, but he does have them, in real life, and he's been awful good. I like Drew Brees. I like Tom Brady. I think it's fine. Peyton Manning, obviously, he's number one for me, but I think that's two good picks. DZ.
Not the worst quarterbacks put in that I just accidentally put in ahead of Peyton Manning, or put in the ballot at least.
Yeah.
But Jesus, man.
That was kind of
I got catfish, bro. I got catfish.
Oh, that's good.
I thought it was Andrew Luck.
That would have been a fucking awesome choice. I should have done Andrew Luck. Good sniff out. I must have missed that last year on Manning. That's okay. I'm sure he'll have another time. Let's go on to week 8. I kind of found this screen. This is kind of cool. You can kind of select between week 8. I did between week 8, week 9, but like if you're just here looking, it shows what your team did for those points. Then kind of like what guys are doing, and then their total scores. I don't know if this is a new screen, if it's been around forever, and I just didn't click on it, but here it is. DZ, we're going to get into week 9 quickly, but I'm going to give you just a 30-second week 8 recap, and then we're going to jump into week 9, do the pay dirts, dough dirts. So week 8, as we remember, we had no bye weeks for teams, so it was a full, fresh squad. That means 257.6 was the average score of the week. That is our highest of the year. So week 8 was a lot of big scores. We had 2 300-point scores. Matt with 300.3 and Edwards yet again 317.2. Both guys got a win, so 300 club getting back in there. Zoe with a monster win. He dropped 273.8. By my notes and by my whatever, I know he did change team names. That's Zoe's highest score he's put together in the EDL, 273.8. So big win for Zoe. 2 wins on the year, and we see that maybe, Zoe might get a little sneaky and get some sneaky wins to finish out the season. We have Bird and Rupp with a fucking just nail biter, 292.9 to 290.2. That is the 7th highest combined score ever.
Jesus Christ.
Then we had Casey and Matt, which Matt got the win, we know 300.3, but Casey also put up 276.2. That is the 8th highest combined score all time. So just fucking points and fireworks going off in week 8. We had 14 players over 30 points, but CD Lamb was the only player in the 40s. He was the high with 41.8. So tons of 30 burgers, only one 40 burger, a lot of high points. 300 people, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, let's jump into week 9, DZ. And we're going to go, here, let me try to find our weekly results, week 9. And for we talk about high points. This was a low point scoring week. Average was 219.3. That's our 3rd lowest of the year, and pretty much right there with the very bottom. So we went from a super high scoring week to now we see some teams on a bye, and it just down here. So let's get on to week 9. Our first matchup, DZ. We're gonna get Bird of Prey, Birdman, getting W 238.1 to 153.2 over Seward. Let's start with Seward and his pay dirt.
Stewart, you want? Okay.
Do we usually start with the good or bad? I forget which way.
Wherever you lead me,
let's go Seward.
Just wanted to make sure you said that. Seward got, hey, Sam Howell's been really good, Nate Dogg. 20.7 in this one, 325 yards passing on the day. Second in the NFL in passing if you ain't paying attention. Seward did, I think, people are talking about Sam Howell might not be a starter next year. But how do you not be a starter? He's getting pressured like crazy. I think he's second most sacked quarterback in the league, and he's second in yardage. Pretty impressive, I think, from the young fella.
I like Sam Howell a lot. Give me his Joe Dirt.
Hey, George Pickens, Nate. 1.92 catches, -1 yard, and I think he tweeted after the game like "free me" or something like that, and took all the Steelers post down, and he's on Seward's team. That's what makes me chuckle so much about this pick.
Yep. Let's move on to Bird's team. Give me his pay dirt.
We just talked about him, CD Lamb. He dug 28.1 in this one, 11 catches, 191 yards, 16 targets. In his last 3 games, he's went nuclear. He's had 30 catches, which is 52% of his total for the season. 466 yards in the last 3 games, 57% of his total for the season. 51% of his targets have come in the last 3 games, and 55% of his EDL fantasy points have come in the last 3 weeks. CeeDee Lamb is on fire.
I know he definitely on fire. He's the high. I think I looked over here. I still got that screen, but I believe he's the second highest fantasy point scorer, in the past 2 weeks, which is really really good. But give me his Joe Dirt.
Well, I mean, I'm with a guy that I love. You guys know I'm a truther, but I gotta call it out when I see it. Justin Herbert, man, 7.3 in this one on Monday Night Football. Not really, didn't really need him against Seward, but he shed 2 points off his per game average. Not a good outing for Justin Herbert.
Definitely a big yikes, but still a good win for Birdman. Let's move on to our next game. Zoe trying to come on, trying to go back to back wins here. Had a good one, pretty close game against Matt, but Matt gets the win 223.1 to 211.6. Let's do Zoe's pay dirt.
Yeah, I went with Aaron Jones, Nate Dogg, 21.9, 20 carries, 73 yards, 4 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown. It's really refreshing that Matt LaFleur came out this week, before this game, and said, we are going to unleash Aaron Jones, and he actually did it. It's nice to see a coach say something and be honest.
Definitely like the Packers offense much better with Aaron Jones over A.J. Dillon.
Absolutely.
Give me his Joe Dirt.
And we'll go from one honest coach to one dipshit coach. We're going to go with Bijan Robinson, 8.1 Nate Dogg in this one, only 11 carries, only 51 yards. Nate, running back 13, not bad, but the number one pick in the draft, number one running back in most dynasty rankings, that's kind of let down. And now he's 3 points shy of Brian Robinson in the rankings.
Pretty sad. Arthur Smith sucks. Let's go on to the winner, though. Matt getting it done. Give me his pay dirt.
I could have went a lot of different ways here, but I went with, he had Austin Eckler and Khalil Mack on Monday Night Football, and he was behind Zoe, who had Tyler Conklin, who actually had a good game. And he had another guy who was fucking Whitehead, the safety. So Zoe was looking kind of nice. Eckler did his thing, 23.8, but I went with Khalil Mack here, coming up big for Matt. 21.1, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and a pass deflection. Khalil Mack really hasn't done none besides outside of his 5-point game earlier here, and then this Monday night game right here.
Pretty good. 8 of his 9 sacks in 2 games. Nice. Let's go on to his Joe Dirt.
I went with Gabe Davis, Nate Dogg, a goose egg here. Such a weird player, so feast or famine. 3 games, Nate, over 21 this season, but 3 games, 5.2 or less as well.
Do I feel like Gabe Davis is the poster boy for best ball teams?
Yes.
Good win for Matt, cutting it close in there. God, if Bijan would be the Bijan we know he can be, Zoe's team could have got another.
He didn't trade Baker. That's another, yeah.
Let's move on to our next one. Always just a battle between these two, but we got Rupp getting the W over Pete, 285.7 to 245.2. I'd have to kind of look, but I feel like 245 was a good score for a losing effort. So let's go with Pete's team and give me a Spader.
Man, I went with Tank Dell, man. 30 points even on this one. 6 catches, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a baby, Nate. We've talked about this a lot lately. What I want to ask you a question right now. Is he a guy or is he just a guy?
Well, I mean, the person throwing him the ball is pretty special. So I think in that I like Tank Dell, man. I was a big Tank Dell hater. I hate everybody that is the size of a twig. If you're under 5'10" and 185 pounds, I don't want you.
You weigh less than Gavin.
Yeah, if you weigh, that's exactly, yeah. If you're littler than Gavin, I do not want you, and I will talk shit about you. But Tank Dell might be proving me wrong. Like Tank Dell. Give me his
3 games, real quick. 3 games over 20 for Tank Dell, and he's missed 1 game. They've had a bye week. pretty impressive start for the little guy.
Bro, that's the thing. It's the Gavin line. Are you smaller than Gavin? If you're smaller
You
than
can't get
Gavin,
on the
I don't want to. That's it.
can't get on Nate's truther bus unless you're this tall.
Give me his Joe Dirt.
And we're talking about, one rookie excelling, another one that was excelling, kind of experiencing hard times in LA. Puka Nacua in this one, Nate. 6.2, 3 catches, 32 yards, 7 targets. 3 of his last 4 games have been under 7.3 after a really hot start. I know it's a lot to do with the quarterback situation, so it definitely doesn't. It cools off his stock a little bit, but I think it's still he's on the rise. Once they get that quarterback situation settled.
Let's move over to Rep's team and talk about his pay dirt.
Yeah, I mean, I went with this. You can put this all on volume, but Rachaad White's been really good this year, Nate. 31.9 in this one, 20 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he catches the ball a lot, 4 catches, 46 yards, 70.1 points in the last 3 games. Only 1 single-digit game on the year. Volume or not, this guy is getting it done in fantasy football.
Completely agree. Definitely been good. Give me his Joe Dirt.
Man, this might hurt for you Zay Flowers truthers out there. Only 2.1 in this one. 1 catch, 11 yards, 1 target. Still 68% of the snap count. Only 8 points in his last 2 games combined. Now he's behind rookie receivers as like a Tank Dell that we just talked about, and a guy from your team and my team, Josh Downs.
I feel like Andrews kind of had a slow start to the year, and now Andrews has been good as of late. And I feel like it's switched. We're back to Andrews now. Also, side note from someone we talk shit about week after week after week, the number 1 fantasy point player in the past 2 weeks combined, Dak Prescott. 71.3, kind of wild. Dak's been killing it fantasy-wise past 2 weeks. But that's
absolutely
good win for Rupp, getting it done. Always a battle between those two. Move on to the next one. Deezy, my guy gets a dub, gets out of the fucking cellar, the 0 column, gets your first win of the year. How does it feel?
Man, this feels like I bit my nose off despite my face. I definitely am appreciative of the win, but I did not want it in this situation, obviously for draft pick considerations.
Yep. And then give me. All right. Well, you did get a good win, 188.3 over Jerome, who only put up 163.5. Who? Let's go. We gotta go Jerome because we've been going whatever. But give me Jerome's pay dirt.
It was tough, man. This is pretty much shit from top to bottom. But I went with Chris Olave, a guy that it's kind of not lived up to expectations this year. He gets 16.6 in this one. Nate gets in the end zone, which has been an issue so far this year. Only wide receiver 19. I mean, you expect more than that. It's like, low end, wide receiver 2. I assume that he gets it going, but ever since Kamara's been there, he's been kind of bad.
Yep, and then give me his Joe Dirt.
Absolute dreadful fucking Geno Smith. 2.8 in this one, Nate. 157 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Nate, he is now quarterback number 23. Last year, this time, quarterback 8.
Wild. Again, then, Deezy, let's go look at your squad. Your pay dirt.
Not a lot to see here. I just went with Juwan Bentley, 27.5. A linebacker that I thought wasn't even going to play. I forgot to check, left him in. He had 2 sacks. Yay.
Give me your Joe Dirt.
This one, I'm a little upset about. Rashawn Gary, man, 4.3 in this one. Just got a huge contract from the Packers. Outside of a 3-sack game, he's really been dog shit. I had higher hopes for him. I hope he gets it together. I know game script's probably not the best for him, but fuck, man, give me some sacks, boy.
Yep, good win for you. I don't know. No one likes going winless for a whole year, so you don't at least have to worry about that.
True.
Move on to our next game. We got myself and Robbie. Fucking Robbie getting it done. 243.6 to 220.2. We got to look at my team. Give me my pay dirt.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know who your pay dirt is. This guy backpacked you to even making this game interesting. seen it all. Kenny Moore, 46.5 in this one, Nate. He went from averaging slightly under 11 to almost 15 points per game in this one performance by him.
No, I think I have to start him again. Even though I was listening to the plan, he can't come out of lineup after that. No. Give me my Joe Dirt.
Man, this is starting to fucking irritate me, dude, because I really like this player. Devontae Adams, 7.4, Nate. I'm sure you're frustrated. 4 catches, 34 yards, 7 targets. He's getting the targets. So maybe they're probably just like not on target, but they're targets. But 4 of his last 5 games, Nate, single digits. Man, you fucking hate to see it. This guy, he feels like one of those guys that can still perform past 30, 31, 32. But, man, they treat him like he Andre Johnson over there right now.
God, he has such a good start to the year, too. Little side notes, I had in Robbie, I had Cade Otton in, who had 26, and then I subbed him in for this Ripken douche who got cut. That hurt. And then not trading you, Raheem Mostert. I left you off the hook. Let's go to Robbie's team and give me his pay dirt.
Yeah, this one, man, the easiest pay dirts in the world are you guys right here. Yeah, we're going with C.J. Stroud. 470 yards, 5 touchdowns, 51 points, Nate. He went from QB 17, which is, nice, but he's all the way up to QB 8 after a fucking great performance against Tampa Bay.
51 points, DZ, is the 14th highest quarterback score ever in the EDL, and also the number 1 fantasy point from a rookie quarterback. So C.J. Stroud doing.
What about rookie period? Did you look that up?
I did not. And
he's got to be close, right?
It's got to be close. He's number 1 for quarterback, so I'm sure.
Well, A-Chain's 1, right?
A-Chain. All right, but yep, give me his Joe Dirt.
This one's just sort of unfortunate for Robbie. Luckily, he picked up Jono Smith and traded for Evan Ingram, but Dallas Goedert breaking his arm is a huge loss for Robbie. But maybe it isn't because he does have Devontae Smith. But I did make that as Joe Dirt. Him breaking his forearm kind of sucks.
All right, good win, Robbie. Definitely would have liked to get that one over you, but it didn't happen. I'll be seeing you again. And then we're going on to our last matchup of the week. And DZ, down goes Edwards. Fucking heavyweight, the top of the league, top of the top, undefeated. But against Casey's team, Casey was ready to play. 259.8. And Edwards only a 199.4. Let's look at Edwards' team and his pay dirt.
Yeah, I mean, I went with Max Crosby in this one. What a motherfucking monster, dude. 28.3 in this one, 3 sacks, Nate. 9.5 sacks on the season now, Nate. The number 1 DN from last year, he is not a one-hit wonder. He's number 2 so far this season through 9 weeks.
Absolute monster. And give me his Joe Dirt.
Man, I went with Travis Kelce, Nate. This is getting a little bit scary. Only 5.9 in this one, 3 catches, 14 yards, 5 targets. Only 21.7 in the last 2 weeks. I know you shouldn't be alarmed yet, but the reason why I went with Travis Kelce is because he traded away Trevor Lawrence in this deal. I know Trevor was on by, I guess, but Edwards got a little bit of a QB issue now. He's out here starting Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, and y'all trying to crown him the champ. I've never seen anyone win a title with Zach Wilson the quarterback.
Very true. Let's go on to Casey's team with the name change, DZ. The little throwback. Give me his pay dirt.
Hey, I went with Dalton Schultz, man. I feel like when he went to Houston, it was a nothing signing. It was late in the offseason, and everyone thought he was going to Houston to die. And it's just not the case. 32 points in this one, Nate. 10 catches, 130 yards, a touchdown, 11 targets. His first 3 weeks in Houston were not good, but since week 4, Nate, he's the number 3 averaging tight end with 18.26 points per game.
Really good. Give me his Joe Dirt.
So I went with fucking Casey, bro. Quay Walker, man. Inactive, Casey. You gonna talk all that fucking shit, run your mouth in the fucking chat. You did get the win, but you fucking started an inactive guy, bro.
He did talk
you
some
fucking
shit, too.
All that shit, you started an inactive guy.
Oh, man. Good win
for
Casey. Good thing that one didn't bite you in the ass because I'm sure we would have talked about it for quite a while in the chat. Side note too. I mean, down goes Edwards, but I do want to note the fantastic stretch he did put together. He did go 9-0, had a whatever win streak, 9-game win streak, 8-game win streak, however you want to look at it. But that puts him tied for the fourth longest win streak of all time. So that's really good. Also, he has the most points ever in the EDL for the week between weeks 1 and weeks 9 in the history of the EDL. He put up the most points. He got that by scoring 2.3 more points than Pete over Pete's good team. So just barely got that spot. Over his 9 weeks, he averaged 277.2 points per game, which is fucking incredible. And then where's he at over here? Plainview, we have 1, 2, 3 300-point scores. So congratulations, Edwards. That was a fucking good start to the year. Good shit.
Real quick, I just want to put a little bit of grain of salt on that. This is the first year of Superflex.
Yeah, very. Also,
although I just shit all over his quarterbacks.
Equally as true. Let's preview. We got 5 minutes and 30 seconds to pick some games this week. First matchup, we got myself and Bird. I would have loved to see. I had got 2 defensive players go, Montez Sweat and my linebacker. I think I got like less than 15 between them. That sucks. I'm probably a 1% favorite right now, but I'm still going to get it done. So I picked myself.
I'm going Bird, man. You're struggling, Nate Dogg. You're struggling.
Yeah, not for long. Not for long. We got some tricks up our sleeve. Next game, we got... you got maybe a hangover game for Casey? You and Casey? Is Casey so focused on Edwards? Now maybe he starts more than one inactive this week. Maybe he doesn't even care anymore.
I was thinking hangover game for me. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. You did get a win. 2 guys coming off a big win. I got Casey.
Fuck. I might as well send Casey his $50 now.
Next matchup, we got Edwards trying to get the bounce back win against Zoe here.
God. I'm about to get a get right game.
Yeah, Edwards. I'm giving Edwards the dub here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got the center for recently relapsed. We got Seward versus Pete. Get right game for Pete.
Did Pete lose? Oh,
against Rupp last week.
God. I mean, yeah, Pete's gonna win.
We got here for the Hurts. We got Matt against Jerome. Jerome's actually the favorite here. Jerome's been struggling too. Like his fantasy points over the past 2 weeks have been just as bad as mine. I'm gonna go Matt.
Jerome had a real dud, obviously, last week. Got screwed a little bit 2 weeks ago. I have a bet with Jerome. You know, maybe I shouldn't share, but I don't think he's going to make the playoffs, Nate Dogg. I don't think he's going to make the playoffs. I don't know if Matt's going to get him here, but I don't think Jerome makes the playoffs. So he's going to get got quite a bit, I think, in the last 5 weeks.
We got our next matchup. We got Rupp versus Robbie. I feel like Rupp is riding as hot as anyone lately, so I'm going to go Rupp here.
Yeah, Rob, but fuck, man.
Did Diggs get?
Rob. Fuck. Well, shit, dude. I think Robbie might have a bad week. I mean, you look at Lamar playing in Cleveland or against Cleveland. Stroud against the Bengals. They've been better against the pass. Nico Collins is out. He lost Goddard. I think Rob gets that. Is that it?
Yeah, that's all we got, DZ. Good work, good video. We got a lot done for relatively fast. But EDL, realest ever. See y'all next week.
Yes, sir.